All right, this is Epic Exit Signs, and it is finally time for exit sign setup number 3. So today's setup is going to be a little bit different. It's actually based on a real exit sign setup from my middle school and elementary school. So we'll get into some of the details in that in just a minute, but just keep that in mind as we go through what I have installed. So just for a little bit more context here, the school actually opened when I was in kindergarten back in 2008. The middle school and elementary school were basically separate wings of the same building, so we shared the same cafeteria, gym, office, all that stuff, but the middle school and the elementary school had separate classrooms and things like that. So anyways, that's enough of my rambling. We'll get started with this black housing, green lettering Lithonia signature series. As you can see, we have standard battery backup on this. The ones at my school were self-diagnostic, but I wasn't able to track down a self-diagnostic signature, unfortunately. So this will just have to do. It looks the same on the outside, so I think it's still pretty legit. And right over here at the main entrance to the exit sign cave, we have a Lithonia Extreme Series exit sign. Again, black housing with green letters. These are really interesting signs. They are actually designed for like hazardous environments, so wet location, extreme temperatures, and they're vandal resistant as well. So you can't just reach up here and pull it off the wall, or at least you shouldn't be able to if I had mounted this better. But yeah, so this is a pretty neat sign. This is actually the one that took the longest for me to find for a decent price on eBay. But I really wanted this sign in particular in this black housing and green lettering because these were also installed throughout my school. These were in the gyms and the just some other like hazardous areas. I'm not quite sure why they went with the like wet location listed sign because they were also mounted under like wire covers in the gym. So it seems like kind of a waste of money to me, but I guess whatever works. It was still, really awesome to be able to go to a school that had these, and definitely was something a little bit unique, especially with it being such a new school. There isn't, all that much that's unique about the exit signs and emergency lights there. So at least it put a little fun spin on the exit signs installed. This sign, like my other signature, just has the standard battery backup, and it has a really, really cool magnetic test feature. So you can see there's not a test button like there is on most other exit signs because this is a hazardous location sign and you wouldn't want people tampering with it. You wouldn't want ways for water or other hazards to be able to get into the sign and mess with the electronics. So it actually came with this little magnetic cylinder thing that you can just kind of put right up on this hole and it sends it into emergency mode. So that's a pretty neat feature and not something I've seen on any other sign. And rounding out the exit signs in our exit sign setup, right here we have something that might seem a little bit strange to include with the other two signs that are in this setup, but there is an explanation that I will get to in just a second. But anyways, right here we have just a generic Emergi-Lite branded swivel head, swivel incandescent head LED exit sign combo unit. So believe it or not, this sign actually is still true to the theme of the video. This was installed in my middle school back in 2013, 2014. My school was growing and they needed to build an addition onto the building. So while they were constructing the addition, the building was still, fully operational as a school, and they had to block off some exits. So they had to, of course, put temporary exits, which they actually cut through the side of classrooms, which is kind of interesting. So there would be a classroom, and then there would be a temporary wall, and there'd be like a little temporary hallway. And these signs are actually what they installed in the temporary hallway. There would be a sign right above the classroom, pointing, into the classroom door, and then there would be another sign directly above the temporary exit. So these signs were only installed for about a year there, right around my 5th, 6th grade year. But I remember it super clearly because I remember how cool I thought it was that my school had a mixture of red and green exit signs. Unfortunately, in the end, when the new addition was completed, they installed the same, you can't really see it on this video, but they installed the same green lettering, black housing signatures that they had in the original part of the building. But in any case, still true to the theme here, and kind of an interesting little tidbit of information there. And last but not least, we have my Lithonia ELM6, the high-capacity emergency light that I featured in my last exit sign setup. This is still up here because this is also true to theme. My school had, for emergency lighting, these ELM6s all throughout the building. Most of them were white housing and self-diagnostics, just like this one you see here is. There were a few that had black housing, just depending on where they were. They, tried to blend it into the color of the wall and make these, even though they're absolutely massive, they tried to, make them blend in as much as possible. So yeah, I know there are still a few of these, at least there were as of the last time I was in the building a couple years back. A lot of them have been replaced by self-diagnostic Lithonia ELM2 LEDs. So kind of sad to see these go, but hopefully the few that are remaining will stick it out for the foreseeable future. But anyways, that's pretty much it in terms of exit signs, and yeah, we'll see what it looks like in emergency mode. All right, so we are fully in emergency mode here. Right here, you see the Emergi-Lite incandescent LED combo unit doing its very best. I didn't give it quite the full charge, so I'm not really being fair, but it seems to be holding its own just fine. Over here, we've got the Lithonia Extreme, which is super bright in emergency mode. It's actually probably brighter in emergency mode than it is just normally. And that's pretty much where things end in terms of positives. So as you can see here, the signature conked out after like 10 seconds in emergency mode. Honestly, that's not super surprising. The battery is pretty old. I didn't give it a full charge, so I'm not too worried about that. Again, this will be coming down for a different sign at some point in the next few days. So again, not terribly worried. I really just kind of wanted to make this video and show off these awesome signs. So not the perfect emergency mode demonstration, but it'll do for now. And then over here, I don't know what's going on with the ELM6. It's been causing me issues for the past few days, actually. It sent me a lamp fault code when it went into monthly test about a week or so ago. And ever since then, I've been having difficulties with it. I don't know if it's the battery, I don't know if it's a lamp issue, but that also isn't operational in this video. But if you do want to see this in action, definitely head over to Exit Sign Setup 2, and you can see a full emergency mode demonstration. So yeah, I think that pretty much ends the video right here. Thank you all so much for taking a trip down memory lane with me and revisiting my elementary school's exit signs and emergency lights. This was super fun for me, and I hope it was fun for you as well. Definitely let me know what you want to see in a future exit sign setup down in the comments below, and thanks so much for watching.